active on the storm in that direction, we'll get back in touch with you.
All right, and I will mention, I'm going to go back on the screen for Doppler here. The storm appears to be, to me, re-intensifying. The hail size is back up to 2 inches. The mesocyclone is at 4. And the storm is drifting southeast now to northeast Crosby and Dickens County, just so you'll know.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, John.
All right. Yeah, it was Kerry Allen again there in the Rawls community, and you heard me just tell him I was looking at the Doppler radar. Hail size is back up to 2 inch now. Mesocyclone's holding, and it still looks like the storm may be trying to cycle and intensify just a little bit. And I'm going to see what it says. Weather Service, Eastern Dickens County, showing signs of intensification and supercellular on radar. And Crosbyton Viewer reported winds of 70 miles per hour now and thick blowing dust, as Kerry was reporting, between Rawls and Crosbyton. Thick blowing dust there, visibility near 0. Looks like the high resolution models. Let's see here what they're saying from the National Weather Service. Activity along the rolling plains, a low-level jet. All right, just these two may merge, in other words, is what it looks like from the National Weather Service. That's what I was reading there. So as these merge, that will cause these storms to intensify, but we do have a strong wall of dust headed this way. Do you have an update, Steve? I see you looking towards me.
Well, we do want to point out that there are some thunderstorms over southeastern New Mexico as well, John, and those storms are actually tracking to the northeast. Now, right now, they're more in the Pecos Valley area from Artesia to south of Carlsbad, as you can see on our Super Doppler HD3 here. But again, they're going to track to the northeast. They already are, and that will bring them into the viewing area. So we could see some of that activity also merging with the activity that you were just mentioning. And together, those could keep the thunderstorm activity, along with some other factors, could keep some thunderstorm activity going through the night. In fact, let's take a look at the weather computer. We have a satellite radar again. We've looked at this several times. This is the visible satellite image, and we're going to start this over. That's actually the current image, but we're going to take you back 6 hours, and you can see the boundary, that's the outflow boundary coming in from the upper right hand corner, and again it touches off the thunderstorms there, and now they formed into a complex, and these tend to be long-lived, and they may continue on through the night as it drifts to the south, producing some locally heavy rainfall. But also over southeastern New Mexico, in the lower left hand corner of your screen, we're looking at some of those thunderstorms there now. Now the storms that are up over the northeastern part of the viewing area that we're looking at here, want to just mention the storm reports that we have had, several reports of funnel clouds and tornadoes. So a little closer look at that. Again, about 1:53 near Cedar Hill, we had a report of a tornado. 2:22 near Cedar Hill, another report. And then about 2:30 just east of Floydada. The yellow triangle there is a 1-inch diameter hail report. But this system has also produced some very heavy rainfall. And here's a look at estimated rainfall totals, and that banner at the bottom, want to reference the orange color right around 2.5 inches, because you'll see some of that over east central northeastern sections of Floyd County, and you can now see two distinct cells there extending from the original cell that was over the Floyd County area.
A warning on Cottle, Dickens, and Motley in that storm on that side. Go to Doppler, guys.
Let's go back to Super Doppler HD3, and again we're now looking at a severe thunderstorm warning for Cottle, Dickens, King, and Motley counties. This is in effect until 4:45 Central Time. Again, we do have some large, the indications of some large hail, potentially some very high winds associated with these, and we were just looking at some very heavy rain. But John was pointing out just a little while ago the mesocyclone number, and it has increased to 7. But no tornado signature reported at the time. But this is a very strong storm. The probability of hail of an inch or greater in diameter is at 100%. Well, probably 99.9%, but nonetheless, there's also a high probability of severe hail, and we're looking at hail potentially up to 2 3/4 inches in diameter, so in between tennis ball, hard ball size. But the DBZ, 66 DBZ on that system, that is a very strong system. As we slice through the middle of the storm, a 3D look, and we'll move back and forth here a little bit, and you see that pretty intense core there about the mid-levels of this storm. So it does look like we're seeing some pretty good circulation in this storm, or potentially some very good circulation in this storm, with a height of about 42,000 feet. Very strong storm. Now, severe storms will often send the tops up above, well above 35,000 feet or so, above what airplanes normally fly. And once we get up to about 45,000 feet, especially above that, these are really intense cells. This is a very strong storm. It is a dangerous storm, and again, there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. And you see the storm on the east side here appears to be the stronger storm at this time, and showing a little bit more of a drift to the east at this point. A lot of lightning. Notice this cell has a little bit of a crook in the lower right-hand corner, or the lower left-hand corner, excuse me. That would be the southwest corner of the storm. But as we put the scope on it, we're not seeing any indication that we have a tornadic circulation right there. So we're looking at a more broad circulation associated with these very strong thunderstorms, capable of producing that very large hail, the really strong winds, a lot of lightning, intense, frequent lightning, and of course we're looking at the potential for some flooding rains as well. Keep in mind that we have had some flood advisories posted out in this area because of the heavy rain associated with these thunderstorms. Again, we're getting some indications, estimated amounts, potentially up to or even exceeding 2.5 inches. This storm is still holding pretty steady, quite strong. There it is on a new sweep, and we're showing now probability of severe hail has dropped off a bit with a size of about 2.25 inches. Again, this is determined by what the radar sees, and there are algorithms to figure when these certain ingredients come together, high potential of hail or not, particular size that you might see. So that's an indication of the maximum size that we might expect at this time with that cell. Keep in mind they tend to fluctuate in strength. Sometimes they'll drop off, then increase. Right now it does appear like the easternmost cell that we're looking at here, and for a moment here I'll put that at the center of your screen, seems to be overtaking the cell that is off to the west, and a little closer look at that one right there. However, even the one to the west is still extremely strong, and these are both capable of producing severe weather. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, and that's why we've been following these storms as we've been going through the evening. About 5 miles east of Rawls, getting a report of 70 to 80 mile per hour winds.
I got David on the phone.
Let's go to David, see what David has to say. I think we just
lost David, right? Yes, we did. All right. Back on the storm.
Again, just 5 miles east of Rawls, getting a report of wind gusts to 70 to 80 miles per hour. Still looks like some dust off on the distant east to northeast of here of the Lubbock area, but so far we haven't seen a wall of dust moving into the area, which is very good for us. And of course, John is still tracking those storms out to the northeast and east of Lubbock right now.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you stepping in there for a few minutes, giving everybody up to date there. But I do want to mention, as you mentioned, the Weather Service indicating very strong winds. Visibilities could be near zero. This area between Crosbyton, Dickens, and east of that area, east of Rawls, all the way into eastern Dickens County. So if you're planning travel or you know of anyone traveling in that area, they really should pull off the road. Let the winds subside, let the visibilities improve, because visibilities could be near zero because of blowing dust throughout that area. Hail size, as Steve mentioned, in this one in northeastern Dickens County, 2.25, does have quite a bit of rotation with it, so it's a very strong thunderstorm, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that. That is going to be drifting towards the community of Guthrie. If you have vehicles, other items that could be damaged, one by winds or by the large hail, be sure you get those items in some kind of covering or protected from the strong winds and the hail potential. So that's one of our very strong thunderstorms indicating the potential going on there. Let's expand the Doppler out a little bit there. Either Josh or Steve, either one of you there. Give an idea again on these two storms. There's, by the way, you might as well zoom all the way out. We'll just give folks an overall update. There's no severe weather around Lubbock, but there's still a tornado watching effect for all of the South Plains through the evening hours, and nothing around Amarillo, nothing around Lubbock at this point, or Hale County. Had the outflow winds headed for Lubbock, and we still may have some more dust headed this way from that storm in Crosbyton. According to what Kerry was telling us, it is going to be moving into Lubbock County as well. Some thunderstorms southeast New Mexico that could threaten us a little bit later on in our southwestern counties are not a threat at this point. These are the two primary cells. They may merge as they get in the Caprock area between Dickens and King and Cottle County. If they do so, they may intensify, become even stronger than they are. But very isolated storms at this point, primarily along that boundary with a lot of moisture in place with the daytime heating. This activity, as you can see, is not coming towards Plainview or Lubbock or Floydada. It looks like it might clip Crosbyton, but generally it is drifting south.